Mentally tough individuals don't bypass fear, they redirect it. This is one of the few areas of self-defense that any man can gain an edge. It's about how you train your perception of threat. If your body's flooded with adrenaline and you can't control it, you won't be able to think clearly enough to act effectively. Researchers analysed 194 combat athletes, and what they found flipped common beliefs on its head. So what happens when a man in the street reframes danger as a test instead of an ambush? Men that look fearless aren't suppressing fear. They experience it differently. Their brains don't register the confrontation as a direct threat. Instead, they experience it as a challenge. According to a 2023 study published in the Frontiers of Psychology, researchers analysed 194 combat athletes, and what they found flipped common beliefs on its head. You see, the fighters with the highest mental toughness didn't just think more positively, they experienced less pre-fight anxiety, both physically and psychologically. And here's the key stat. They showed 21.5% higher rates of confidence going into the fight, even against equally skilled opponents. It means that the difference between freezing and responding isn't just about your training technique. It's about how you train your perception of threat. The human brain responds to perceived threats, but perception is malleable. A study in the Journal of Sports and Exercise Psychology highlights the importance of cognitive appraisal. How we label the situation on a stress response. When you view an event as a threat, your brain triggers a fight or flight, and your body stiffens. But when the same event is viewed as a challenge, your body prepares to engage, not escape. So what happens when a man in the street reframes danger as a test instead of an ambush? He stays calm, not complacent, alert but not reactive. He doesn't need to dominate, he just doesn't panic. Now the good thing is that this kind of psychological toughness can easily be trained. Anybody can do it. The first thing you need to do is something called cognitive reappraisal. This is your inner dialogue under pressure. Instead of I'm in danger, you think I've been here before. Instead of I'm going to lose, it becomes I'm going to solve this problem. You see, reframing your thoughts in the moment releases you from the fear spiral. And if you don't believe me, this is supported by research. Gross and John in 2003 showed that people that regularly use reappraisal techniques have lower baseline anxiety and higher resilience in high-stakes situations. The second thing you can do, you need to train your nervous system under load. Ice baths, hard rounds, public pressure drills, anything that mimics the physiological stress of a real confrontation. In psychology, this is called stress inoculation. Controlled exposure builds familiarity with fear, so it doesn't overwhelm you later. The third thing you can do, and this is important, is your recovery and regulation. Mental toughness isn't just about grit, it's about your bounce back speed, your ability to bounce back. Sleep, breath work, and nutrition. Recovery builds regulation. It's the ability to downshift quickly when your system spikes. According to research in applied psychophysiology and biofeedback, breath control alone can reduce cortisol spikes by over 40% in 2 minutes. That's huge in the context of a street fight, because if your body's flooded with adrenaline and you can't control it, you won't be able to think clearly enough to act effectively. I once witnessed a man de-escalate a confrontation without saying a word. A group of teenagers were posturing aggressively at a train station, trying to provoke. Most people backed away, but one man didn't. He didn't puff up, he didn't square off. He just stood, calm, chest relaxed, shoulders down. His eye contact was steady, but not confrontational. Now the energy shifted. The energy deflated. Now that wasn't about alpha male nonsense. That was regulation. That's a nervous system that's trained not to overreact. The physiology of calm in chaos. Here's the thing. When your heart rate passes 160 BPM under stress, your ability to reason drops, your vision narrows, your coordination deteriorates. In other words, you either lash out wildly or you freeze. But mentally tough individuals don't bypass fear, they redirect it. A study in the Journal of Neuropsychology in 2022 found that athletes with a high emotional regulation showed a high activation of their prefrontal cortex during stress, meaning they were literally keeping the logical part of their brain online while the rest of it shut down. In a street fight, that could be the difference between a well-timed action and total chaos. So what's the takeaway? You can rewire your fight response. No one's brain is calm under fire. That's made up. But the good news, this is one of the few areas of self-defense that any man can gain an edge, regardless of their age, size, or physical ability. The people that stay calm and composed under pressure have simply trained their nervous system to interpret signals differently. They've rehearsed chaos in controlled environments. They've done the reps, not just in technique, but in mental reframing. They've trained themselves to see the fight as a test, not a threat. And because of that, they don't just survive violence. They make better decisions inside of it. So here's a question for you. Are you just training to survive pressure? Or are you training to reframe it, to channel it, and stay composed when it counts? Because the real danger isn't always physical. It's the man that stays calm while everyone loses control. And he's the one that walks away smarter, safer, but stronger. Thanks for watching.